All right, thank you for staying with us. It's time for us to move on now on the show. And let me just introduce to you very quickly, Yemi Adebayo is on the show tonight. And Onye Wuchiwachuku, news editor, Sporting Live, is also on the show tonight. There's a lot to talk about, really, around the Olympic Games. We'll talk about it. We'll still continue the build-up. Remember, it's 2 days to go officially, but unofficially, the games are on. And earlier on the show, we brought you the results of the games played today. Women football event, not good for Africa. Sweden beating South Africa 1-0. All right, but let's come home now, guys. The guys are playing tomorrow. The football event for men is starting tomorrow. But the story is not very palatable because as we speak, before we came in into the studio,
the last time we checked, up till now, the team is still in Atlanta. And they have a game in about 24 hours plus against Japan, who have already settled down in Manaus.
Take away 8 hours. That will take them to get to where they're going.
That's it, they leave now.
They leave at this moment.
At this moment, which is not what is happening.
Take away 8 hours.
And I remember on Monday, when you anchored the show, we were even talking that at Monday, it was already too late. This is Wednesday. The team is still in Atlanta.
It has happened. We have, this trip has been put forward 3 times already in the last 6 days. July 29. I mean, all of those things that have been happening, and you're looking at, you look at the timeline, and you begin to ask yourself, why are we always shooting ourselves in the foot? How serious are we about really going there to get something? And you know, you look at, you create a timeline of what has happened, starting from when his sports minister was talking about not probably being aware that they were right there in Atlanta.
Human trafficking.
you really don't know what is happening, and the disturbing news and feelers you're getting about who is actually in charge, someone told to step aside, another person told to be in charge of the team. I mean, all of those things are not complimentary at all. And I just hope some people in high places know that whatever they do now, history will be full of the accounts of all their activities. Whatever we do now echoes in eternity. And it's bad enough the way it is now, but the way it's going, I'm really sad. I'm lost for words. We shouldn't be doing this to ourselves. And you know, when things like this happen, a lot of people bring out the cane and start. For once, I can't blame the NFF. For once, in all of this, my opinion, for once, I would rather blame the ministry and the NOC, because I feel that these guys are Nigeria's property and their traveling arrangements and everything. Those are the people that should be in charge. All of this happenings is really sad. There are even unconfirmed reports that 1 or 2 players have asked to leave to leave the camp and just go away. It's sad, really. really.
You have been monitoring this as well. From the news editor perspective, what can you tell us? What's been happening with the team? We're supposed to travel via chartered flight on Monday. The minister said they were going to leave on Monday. This is Wednesday. They're still there. Issues of monies not being transferred, the delays in government fund transfer system. These are excuses. When we knew about the Olympics, they were 4 years ago, and well, the minister has been saying a lot about this team went to Atlanta, he didn't know about it, but I thought that was in the past. I thought when it was time to put our house together, just like the basketball team in the US, we will not have any issues around going to the games.
Yeah, but the minister is aware that they are in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, he claimed ignorance.
No. The context is not that he didn't know that they were there.
He wasn't informed officially.
He didn't know about it.
But now officially, because on Monday, when we were asking Timi Ebikagboro, the media officer of the team, when he was on air, you know, fielding questions from us, he admitted that even eventually it turned out that the minister, you know, spoke with them on phone. But the impression was that the minister visited, which was not true. He spoke.
He didn't visit the team.
He spoke with Mikel Obi on phone. You know, so that presupposes that he's now aware that the team is in Atlanta, Georgia. You know,
and he spoke to Samson Siatia today.
Yeah. So let's even put that aside. I think you are trying to make a comparison between the way this team prepared and when we won the Olympic Games in 1996. But I think there's absolutely
a world of difference.
No basis for comparison. Yes, they had issues against Togo, but that was where it ended. Like Amoneke said, they left almost immediately, you know, for
the day after that game.
Yes,
they left for
intensive camping. And, there were no issues of money. The team, we are united.
Yeah, even if there were issues of money, they focused on the game.
Yeah, but officially,
there are always issues of money.
We didn't hear of any issue of money. But, these young men have been unfairly treated to him. Let us say the truth. The reality is that they've been unfairly treated. When we are going for a tournament, and each time your flight is scheduled, you get to hear that it has been postponed. I saw the picture of John Mikel Obi today, and even though the other players were trying to smile, the young man was demoralized to him. He felt crestfallen.
He's not used to.
He couldn't hide his emotions, so he's not used to such shoddy arrangements. I think for me, I think has to roll. We can't continue. We can't continue like this. Each time we talk about Amuneke was trying to sack the players. What are we putting aside, for goodness sake? We have brought the country. We have dragged the country into disrepute. The world is now a global village. 20 years ago, we are not on the internet. Very few people were, but now
on social media.
Yes, anything that happens now is everywhere in the world. We are rubbishing.
I mean, there are reports that TV cameras, journalists are flocking to the hotel of the team just to catch a glimpse of the Nigerian team stranded and all of that.
Very rubbishing the image of this country. Nigeria is a big country. We won the Olympic gold medal in 1996, for goodness sake. Chioma Ajunwa has won the Olympic gold medal. We have, top-class athletes. But what is happening now is a
but we are told that the vice president has put a call through to the team.
Yes, very true. He called the team, and and
the information minister and some other top government officials.
They want to send the plane out of the presidential fleet, to lift the players from Atlanta, Georgia to Brazil, but they are trying to sort out landing permits and every other logistic issue.
And that's going to take some time.
Yeah.
Should it always get to that? That's the question. If we know the right thing.
We can't do things. We have to bring the highest level of government. I know, because this has gone beyond control. It started like a joke. We'll go on the 29th. Now it has gone out of control.
It's worse than a joke. Now, I mean, we are known for not being able to do things right. I'm sorry, but that's everywhere around the world. People want to talk about Nigeria. There are a lot of good things to say about our country, but they make a lot of news out of things that we don't do properly, and we make it easy for them with things like this. We make it easy. We embarrass ourselves. I don't know how we'll. I'm not looking forward to the performance of the boys. Those boys would really be demoralized. A lot of guys left their pre-season with their clubs, left it, put the country first. They are here. You're putting a whole lot of distraction. I mean, you consider that if they leave, whenever they do leave, you still have to take out 8 hours before that first game. And it's
a big mess.
And they're up against Japan,
who
have been in Brazil
and have played a friendly game.
Almost 2 weeks, settled down, shaking off jet lag, and ready to go. Our prayers is even let them get there before the game.
That's huge. All right, please talk to us about this. Let's know what you think. It's not looking very good at all, and it's really something that we should worry about. But let's look at some other side of the Olympic Games. Let's talk table tennis very quickly. Aruna Quadri is Africa's best table tennis player for the year, and Aruna Quadri has been drawn into round 2 of the singles event at the Rio Olympics. Quadri is listed amongst the top 32 table tennis players at the Games by virtue of his status as the #1 ranked African player. The top 16 entries will qualify directly to the 3rd round, and another Nigerian, Segun Toriola, who is going for his 7th Olympic Games, will be starting his campaign from the 1st round. We wish Aruna Quadri and Segun Toriola all the best around their games of the Olympic Games. All right, let's move on and talk about the Olympic flame very quickly, guys. The Olympic flame is a symbol of unity, and it will burn all through the period of the Games. The Olympic flame has been received by Rio de Janeiro Mayor Eduardo Paes after being rowed across the Guanabara Bay by Brazilian Marines. And that's what you see right there. That's the symbol of unity you see right there on your screen. The mayor will lead the final leg of the relay around the whole city, traveling around for some of it, as of course you see right there on your screen. So that's the good news about the Olympic flame. All right. The final one, of course, has got to do with tourists who will be coming from across the world Yeah, that's the site that you like to see. Anytime you visit Brazil, you want to see Christ our Redeemer. That's a massive one.
It's iconic.
Very, 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 very. And you see tourists trying to pose like Christ the Redeemer. All right.
I'm surprised, and they're not bothered. They're not bothered with all the
Zika virus. Tourists will always want to.
They are even
themselves.
praising the organizers for what they've put together for the security. And just to add that today, when the flames was being the torch, Olympic torch was going through the streets of Rio, some protesters wanted to use that opportunity to cause trouble. But of course, that didn't work. And it made the rounds.
Iconic symbol.
Yeah, made the rounds today.
Right there. All right, let's listen to some of these stories, and then we'll be back with more for you on Sports Tonight.
No, I've been here for a week now almost, and